I don't think any of us are like gentle parents for the most part.
I tried.
We tried, but I think I know I'm a mix of gentle and Samuel Jackson.
The kids don't know how to like regulate their emotions yet. Like they still have to like figure it out. I like sit her down, I get to her level, and I'm like, okay, let's breathe.
I get to the level. I'm like, nope.
No.
And that was another thing I had to learn of the way I parented
The
my
two
oldest.
different personalities, yeah.
I couldn't parent the youngest in the same way. I had to be harder on the youngest because her personality was a lot stronger, I guess you can say. Anyways, welcome back to Primas Pero Not Really, episode 12, where we are spilling tea, not tears, and healing out loud one episode at a time. So we are doing parenting styles, which I don't think any of us are like gentle parents for the most part.
I tried.
We tried, but I think I know I'm a mix of gentle and Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
I start off gentle and I end up Samuel L. Jackson.
I would say the same. I would say the one thing that stuck with me and the two babies is when I see, and I think I kind of learned it from you saying that, was it you? I don't even know anymore. Who knows? I think it was you. That the kids don't know.
Take the credit. Take the credit.
The kids don't know how to like regulate their emotions yet. Like they still have to like figure it out. So I noticed that whenever my oldest is like having a moment of like anger, I like sit her down, I get to her level, and I'm like, okay, let's breathe. Mm-hmm. And I do like breathing exercises. I'm like, okay, so what's wrong?
You didn't
like
get that from me.
No, not that part. Not that part.
The regulating emotions.
No.
The regulating emotions sounds like you.
The regulating emotions is what I was referring to.
I get down to the level, and I'm like, nope.
No, but that has worked out because then I can like, I feel like she's not able to express to me what's wrong with her if she's like that. So I try and calm her down. I would say that's probably the only gentle parenting that I started with and that I've kept because it's worked. And like we were just talking about it before starting this episode, but I've seen her do it to my son.
Really?
And it's because she's like, Elijah, just breathe. Just breathe. And I'm like,
I love that. Just breathe.
Yeah, just breathe. And he'll do it, you know? So I'm like, that I will say has worked out for us and I will keep it. But other than that,
listen.
Nope.
I mean,
slap it.
I know it's not, my kids are grown at this point, so you can't call CPS, but I was a spanker. I came from a generation and household where, granted, my mom was not heavy-handed. My mom, it's funny because to this day, you know, I'm 49. My brother's 3 years older than me. Sorry, gotta throw that out there. He is 3 years older. But to this day, like our mom can say something in a certain tone or give a certain look and we'll be like, oh man, what did you do? Did you fuck up? What did you do? You know, kind of a thing. Because that was my mom. My mom was much more of the look.
Yeah.
Of lo que te espera. And then, but it was always more of the reprimand. My mom was not one to spank because she came from that world and she didn't want to repeat it. So for me, my kids will tell you, I was the one that would grab you by the ear and be like, do we need to have a conversation? Or my kid's favorite is, do we need to go to the bathroom and have a talk? Oh, yes.
When did you start that they started understanding that? Because I feel like mine are still too little to be like.
When you do it, yeah, you do it enough times, they'll even at 2-3 years old.
You don't have to say it. You take them to the bathroom.
Because I've tried doing the eyes, and then
the eyes.
They look at me and they're like,
the eyes only work if they know what the eyes mean, and that means you gave the eyes, they didn't listen. Mm-hmm. Something happened after the eyes, and they will know that when those eyes come back.
Yeah.
They're going to get their ass beat.
Yeah. We could be at a family function and my kids were 2, 3, 4 years old. And I'd be like,
it's disciplining.
Look, the younger,
if that's what we want to call it these days.
Niño chiquito, problema chiquito. Niño grande, problema grande. When the consequence that you give a 2-year-old does not have to be so extreme.
Right.
Because for them, it's extreme.
Yeah.
So if you correct the behavior when they are 2, when they're 5, you won't have to, I mean, you'll have a hiccup
different behavior, but
for the most part, when they are 5, when you give that look, that precedence has already been set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you start doing it when they're 15.
Well, I mean, I said it in a previous episode, you know, my mom would say it all the time. No consientes a los 2 lo que no vas a consentir a los 12. So I hate seeing those TikTok videos of the little kids, like especially in Spanish, are like, ay, que mierda, ay, que okay, super cute coming out of the mouth of a 3-year-old, pero y si tu hija a los 13 te habla así, don't get mad at her because you taught her at 3 years old. It was funny. It's cute. So, yeah, like my kids at 2, 3, 4 years old, it could be a family function. We could be out in public and I'll be like, do we need to go to the bathroom and have a talk? And my kids would be like, no. I said, okay. And they would change behavior because they knew if I got them in the bathroom, I wouldn't hit them, but we would be having a very tough conversation. And so to avoid that, my kids are like, nope, I'm good. I'll correct behavior now versus go to the bathroom. But, with my youngest, with my oldest, definitely, because ella es más un pedazo de pan. And then there's Thugerella, my little one. That one, she was one where, shit, man. It would be like, apologize to your sister or you're going to sit on the stairs and time out. And that little girl would look at you, turn around and sit her happy little diaper ass on the freaking stairs and be like, I'm just going to take time out. I ain't going to say sorry.
I could totally see that in her.
Right? So
that's 100% her.
And so the way
she'll do that even now.
She does. Like even then she'll be like, nope. And that was another thing I had to learn of the way I parented
the
my
two
oldest.
different personalities. Yeah.
I couldn't parent the youngest in the same way. I had to be harder on the youngest because her personality was a lot stronger, I guess you can say. And so, it was also adapting to that. But once I became a single parent, I did try the gentle parenting in a way because I don't know, I guess I felt the divorce trauma and all that. So tried to be a little softer, but after a certain amount of time of trying to be gentle, it's like, you know what? Fuck this. Like Samuel Jackson's got to come out. Samuel Jackson time. No, like, you're not listening to the gentle.
That's currently me right now. And I feel like I get like what is it? The Inside Out movie, the angry guy. I feel like I get like that because I'm overstimulated and then I'm like, I'm cleaning and I'm trying to do this and then I pick up their mess and then I have to go pick up their mess. So I get to like, and then that's when it happens. And every single time afterwards, I feel terrible because I'm like, they weren't asking for it. They weren't, they didn't know.
They're just being kids.
They know better, but they're just being kids. And then that's why I sometimes question myself, like the time that you came over to my house and you're like, just like, I don't remember which kid it was.
Plan, ignore works.
It was the oldest. It was the oldest.
Plan,
and the moment that I like literally just started ignoring,
she turned around and left.
She turned around and I was like, but why doesn't that work when I'm just with them? Because I've tried it where I just ignore, but then I'm like,
because you give in.
That's the thing.
I give in all the time.
There's a thing called, and for my ABA people, so there's the extinction burst, right?
The what?
It's called an extinction burst.
Okay.
So when you're ignoring a behavior that you've typically reacted to, if it's, and you react to it, and you don't react to it now it's not gonna be, you don't react to that. Before you know it, because they're leveling up until they do something extreme that it's like, now you have to pay attention to me. And it's so hard, but you have to have like that poker face, plan, ignore, like, no, we're gonna I don't care. Like this.
You see, at that point, I hit Samuel Jackson mode. That's
where
I'm just like,
I'm getting to that point.
Sleep.
But it's
whatever you need to do.
situation.
The sleep part is hard too.
It works. The plan, ignore works if you are consistent with it. You only reward the behavior that you want. Why do you go to work every day?
I get paid.
That's your reinforcer. If you don't get paid, will you go back to work?
No.
Basic ABA. Every behavior has a reinforcer, whether it's positive or negative. If it's positive, bad attention is attention. And if what you want is attention, that's all they're looking for. Even if it's you screaming at them, you're stopping what you're doing and you're paying attention to me to scream at me. It is about me at that moment.
I love how it's about me.
It's about me. And that's what it is. It's about me at that moment.
Yeah.
So, and I can tell you that in your situation, because there are things that they do and they do it and they automatically look to see if you're paying attention. That is an attention-seeking behavior. And attention-seeking behaviors, in my opinion, I'm not going to validate them.
Do you feel like they're like that because I am always having to do stuff. Like it's very rare, and it breaks my heart sometimes, that I can like sit down and actually play with them. Do you feel like
Not
that's
just you. I think in general, when do we pay attention to our kids? When do we stop what we're doing to pay attention to our children?
Listen, day
When
to day,
they're doing something they shouldn't.
I will say, like,
So when
Monday
they
through
want your
Friday,
attention,
they're gonna do things that they shouldn't to get your attention?
but I will say, like, you were just mentioning, like, you feel bad. Like, listen, you're in the trenches. That's the reality. You are in the trenches.
Yeah.
So you're working, you're a single mom, your ex-husband lives out of state. So
you don't have that time off.
you don't have, like, you have to come home, and sometimes you don't get home till late. So it's like, when is your time with your kids? Probably on the weekends. And I know for me, that was still the case. And I didn't have those hours you did, but still I would have to get home. It was time to cook dinner. It was time to do homework. And There was no time to sit down and let me play with you. Let me watch, maybe it was watch TV right before bed. So that time with the kids, it was spent maybe when we ate, bedtime routine. And it wasn't until the weekend where I can be mom. Like really fully be mom.
Yeah.
And so I think especially when they're that young and you're in the trenches, Monday through Friday is hard. And to her point, when do you like acknowledge them? Están haciendo algo that they shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? They jump straight to that. When they want your attention, I'm not going to sit here and color my coloring book because that's not going to get mom to stop what she's doing. I'm going to go and I'm going to, I don't know, jump off a table.
Oh my God. Eat raw rice. That's my favorite with your son. Eat raw rice.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those, they're very observant. Kids are smart. They're resilient. So they are going to pick up on, and I will tell you, and I don't know if you've experienced this yet. I can tell you, at least my boys, when they were older, so it's different. They are very good at knowing when you're stressed out and when it's time to, like, they might not say it, but my kids have been able to pick up like, oh, today's not the day to.
Oh yeah. As my kids got older, they would kind of like pre-warn each other because at that point they had phones. So they would text one another and be like, yeah, don't mess with mom today. Today's not the day.
Today's not the day.
Yeah, I think my kids are too young to.
But they
know.
do.
They probably
definitely
sense it, but like in a different way.
They won't understand that you have this and that, but they can tell when mom's on edge. And I can tell you that at least with my kiddos, I notice it when they get home from practice and they'll come up and they're like, so how was your day? Like,
They're gauging.
They're like, how are we gonna proceed?
Proceed with caution.
But I will say I'm not a gentle parent and I never will claim to be one. However,
you seem like it, but I feel like you're more strict and not gentle.
Girl, we have witnessed Thugerella in pure action because her poor child, child, you know what? You deserved it. He ate her fries and then dropped them on the floor.
French fries.
Yes.
Can we stop and say the specific?
Okay, tell the whole story for the.
No, because I feel like it's
no.
From an
We
outsider point of view.
We were. All I know is we were on FaceTime when this child got reprimanded for eating her French fries, and Janice and I were like,
after she told him
repeatedly
she was going to eat the fries,
and he did not want them
repeatedly, and I offered to buy him some before,
and he didn't want any.
I don't want French fries.
And then he ate them. And so me and Janice are just on the FaceTime and we're like, should we hang up?
We look at each other like,
should we hang up? I feel like I'm invading privacy right now. Like, I feel like
I'm
scolded.
we're
I feel like saying sorry. I feel like saying sorry.
The best part of this entire
and then you
story,
have the boo-boo in the back, like,
because he got to eat his.
The boo-boo's just happy as a clam back there. He's like, I got my French fries.
He's like licking his fingers with the pickle like sauce. And the best part of his story is that he doesn't finish all of the fries, and I am fuming. And when I get out of the car, the bag of fries falls on the floor. I wanted to
just give the child away.
Didn't we offer to like, hey, do you need us to?
She was like, no, I don't want them anymore. She was like, F it, I don't want them anymore.
She was so mad. She's like, I don't want them anymore. We're like, okay.
Can I tell you that I never even like ordered them again after that?
My God.
I was so like,
wow.
You know what's funny? I'm like that. So if I have like a bad experience,
that is the brat. Like the inner brat is like,
yes, there is a part of me of, so let's say we make plans to do something and then at the last minute, like, and it's something that I'm looking forward to that I want to do. Right. And then at the last minute, you're going to cancel on me. And it's like, oh, but we can go another day. No, fuck it. I don't want to go.
I don't want to go anymore.
I don't want to go anymore. Yeah. Se me quitó. I'm like that. So I would be the same way. You want Grinch fries? Nope.
I'm good.
I'm good. Enjoy them. I don't care.
I hope
that is like the prideful brat in
mine
me.
is I hope you get a stomachache from the Grinch.
Que te dé una diarrhea. I don't care.
That
I
happens
don't
to
care.
me if like I'm
If you
craving
have
something.
indigestion, don't call me.
Don't call. If I'm really craving something, like didn't we go? Where's that restaurant we always go to?
Was that when you had the salad?
Yes.
Oh,
And then I got first.
it ended up being a wrap.
First, I got no. First, this was at what's the
It was
place that your
brunch.
brother works at? No, it wasn't brunch. It was another. You were. I don't think she was there. You
Oh,
weren't there.
no.
that day.
We won't say the name, but we know what it is. We won't say the name because of the close. We just won't say the name.
Got it.
But
Okay.
it's by the airport.
So I ordered the quesadilla. Terrible. I guess the cheese that they used was like a liquid cheese. I don't even know. And it was like old. It tasted old. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm not going to eat it. And I was like, for sure I'm going to get sick when I get home because it just tasted bad. And then I was like, okay, I'll get a Caesar salad. And I was like,
How can you fuck up a Caesar salad?
Yo, but the dressing was not Caesar salad. So I was annoyed. So what did I do? I was like, I don't even want it anymore. Like I literally just like brushed it out. I was like, that's it. And then what did I do? I got McDonald's, and McDonald's just never disappoints.
It doesn't.
You know, it never steers you wrong.
It
It's
doesn't.
so bad for you, but
it's so bad for you, but you know what you're gonna get.
That's what we eat before filming. It's
They're the
McDonald's.
quickest for DoorDash or Uber Eats.
Listen,
They
I'm
never
debating if I'm
disappoint.
gonna
They're
order
the fastest.
They're the fastest. They're
Yeah.
the quickest
They're
to get here,
fastest.
always.
10 minutes.
Let me tell you.
Under 30, they're here by 12. Like in 12 minutes.
But just the Grinch fries. But I'm that same way of like, se me quitó. It's like, nope, yeah, you ruined it for me. You ruined it.
Okay, but I don't think so. I never will I ever claim to be a gentle parent. That is like, that's not even. I feel like I don't even
try.
have the option to even
But do you think
flirt with that line. But I will say that my kiddos are, even though they know what they're gonna get, I think I'm very fair.
Yes.
And I think because I'm very fair, listen, I've had one of my kiddos one time, he used ChatGPT for a school assignment.
That sounds like me.
And but they check it now.
But they check it now
they
because
run
they
a
check,
checker.
they check how quickly you
Yeah.
got your answers and stuff like that. And then I was like, dude, but you could have at least like waited, like to just copy and paste. Like, you know, these things are timed, whatever. And he was so scared to tell me. And when he finally, he tells me that day or whatever, and I was like, all right, what's the teacher? What's this? And it just so happens that I know the teacher. And I was like, okay, look, I can help you on this one. Like this one, I might be able to help you out. I reached out to the teacher and I told him he's going to get you the assignment with his words by tonight. Oh, I was going to give him the option to have it by Sunday. I go, no. He's going to have it to you by tonight. I don't know what time tonight, but I can tell you that in an email before school tomorrow, you will receive that assignment. And I think it's always like that balance of you can come to me. I'm going to try to help you. But when you fuck up, I'm going to call you out on your shit.
I always tell, that is one thing. I've always told the kids tell me the full story. Because if I walk into that principal's office or that teacher's office.
And I got to eat crow.
And they're handing me receipts that you did not pre-warn me about. Game over.
I can't help you.
Now, there have been times with my little Thugerella where she has screwed up and, you know, the AP will be like, oh, okay, this is what I found out and this is what's going to happen. I'm like, no, we're giving her detention, right? Like there has to be a consequence.
There's a consequence for her actions.
So I'm not that kind of parent with a school where it's like, oh, my child would never. No, my child would.
And I can tell you which one,
not
like
that my
what
child-
Consequence.
Like I know
my
the
people.
child in your class. My youngest is a younger version of me. And so I know what you have in your classroom. I know the attitude that you're dealing with. And so I always tell her, I'm like, give me all the receipts. And at this point, my kids are honest enough to tell me, Mom, I screwed up. This is it. Be like, all right, let's go figure it out.
My little one
What's
is
the
one
least
who will come
consequence
up with
you can get?
Because then I'm like, listen, I don't need to hear about the whole story. What did you do wrong? And why am I going to be getting a phone call possibly? And then they tell me and I'm like, did you do it? I'm like, okay, sweet. Because the little one's still like, no, but it wasn't. I'm like, did you do it? Yes. All right. It doesn't matter why. You did it. You got caught.
Now
There's a consequence.
Yeah.
You're going to have to just deal with it.
Now, something that most people may disagree with me on is I have also taught my kids of the respect you receive is the respect you give. And so at this point, my kids are older. And so I find, especially in high school, that sometimes teachers may take this level of superiority of like, I'm the teacher, I'm the adult, and speak to the kids in a way that if you talk to an adult that way, we're going to have words. And so I have gotten calls from teachers of, oh, she said this, she said that. And usually I'm like, well, what did you say?
Oh.
And that's the thing. Like, my youngest will give me the full story. And it's something that happened recently. Like, she'll give me the full story. And so when the AP tells me, yeah, but there's a time and a place, I'd be like, understood. It helped me understand, when is the time or place appropriate for that teacher to disrespect my child? Because if there's a time and a place for that, then my child has the right to speak back in the same way. Because I've taught my children to mirror behavior. You want respect? You give it. You're not dealing with an 8-year-old child. You're dealing with an 18-year-old young adult. Treat her as such. And so I know that's not a popular opinion, but the reality is that's real life.
It is.
Because if that teacher would have spoken to me that way, I'd be like, espérate un momentico. Let me start taking off some earrings because I have words. I have words.
Again, I don't know the context of it. I am very much about when the teacher, I'm a teacher. So I tend to be like,
I love
okay,
the face. I was like, eat.
because I know it's not always the case, but I tend to side with the teacher because those kids are bad. And I know what they intend, and there are a lot of parents that it's like, my child can do no wrong, and it's like, no,
I'm not that parent.
Your
Yeah.
child is Candelisa, and you have no idea what you have at home. And let me tell you that your kid does that and more. But I've swallowed my tongue a lot to avoid the conflict, because I know when a child acts a certain way with a teacher, that's the way they speak to their parent, and that's one thing that I've learned in years of just being. When you see a child, and I say, let's not say child, when a student, because even as a college student, you have to have a certain respect to your professors.
Absolutely.
When you speak to a professor, to a teacher, a certain way, that is how you are used to addressing adults.
Yeah.
And my thing is, there's a time and a place. And the same way that you wouldn't speak to your boss in a certain way, you cannot, your teacher's your boss. And that's kind of what I tell the kids. I'm like, listen, your teacher is getting you ready for the real world. I feel like everything has a life lesson when it comes to sports, when it comes to school, when it comes to everything. Homework assignments. Oh, but why is it stupid? It doesn't matter why you need it. If you were at work and your boss told you to do this assignment, you need to do it. And you don't need to necessarily understand why, but this is what they're telling you to do. You need to complete it by said date. It needs to be done to the best of your ability, obviously. But you don't get to pick and choose what assignments you're going to do because you think that they're stupid. I don't care what you think, because
I am
if I'm your
anti-homework.
boss,
I will say that.
But I'm saying, as a boss, if I imagine, that's the way I think of it. It's like, so you're disrespecting me and saying that what I think is important is not relevant. Well, then why are you in my class? You're not teaching this class. I'm teaching this class. So I'm not going to say it doesn't matter what you think, but this is what is the required situation for what we're doing right now.
Right.
And
In
if you
a
were at work, it would be the
situation like
same-
that, I
Yeah.
don't disagree with you. But like in the context of what happened with my daughter, she had said something to the teacher. And when a teacher responds to you and be like, not today, I'm not the one to mess with. You say that to me, we're going to have words. So that's where I say, I think they're not all teachers are like that, but there are some teachers that take their role like of that superiority of like, I'm the teacher, you have to. And it's like, no, you're dealing with a young adult. Now, granted, I agree with you. There are some times where my bosses or my, the executives may speak a certain way y me tengo que morder la lengua and then address it at a different time when I'm calmer.
Well, that's what I'm
and kind of
getting
bring
at.
the behavior to their attention, because there have been times where,
and that's my point.
I've had to do
what
that.
I've told my boys is, and again, I think we're all human. We all say things. We there's moments where you get upset, and the best is gonna, it can get the best of you when you shouldn't react a certain way. There may be other things happening in that teacher's life that maybe you don't know about, and it's just like, you know what, that was the cherry on that you messed at the wrong moment, and I don't condone it, but I can understand it. And what I'm saying is, for my kids, I'm like, look, if there's a problem with a teacher, address it with me. You don't address it with that teacher. Come to me, let me know what's going on, and I know how to address it, and I'm going to know how to maneuver it a lot better than your 17, 18-year-old unexperienced.
You see, I ask my kids, you address it once they hit like the high school. It's you try and address it first. If it's still not good, bring me in. Why? Because once you hit college is not going to give me any information. You are an adult. They're not even going to share your grades with me. So it's teaching them. And sometimes they'll be like, Mom, can you write the email?
Well, I mean,
Mom, can you write the message?
Addressing it, when I say have
Yeah.
them address it, but like come to me first so that
Oh,
I
yeah.
can help you address it.
Yes.
Because if in
In
that
that
heat of
aspect,
the
yes.
moment, your frontal lobe isn't developed.
No.
So your reaction is not the same reaction of a coherent adult or somebody who has gone through other things. And at that moment, what comes out of your mouth might be spitfire, and it's just going to get you further down the hole.
Well, and that still happens as an adult too.
And
let's face
yes,
it.
exactly. And so imagine as an adult, it's hard for us sometimes to navigate. And there's times where you have to be like, something's being said to you that you maybe don't agree with, and you had no other option. But arguing with it at that moment is irrelevant. So you're just like, yeah, okay, no, I understand. No, absolutely. I understand. You're right. And then later on, you're going to go ahead and you're going to figure out how to maneuver around it.
Yeah.
But at that moment, it's not the time to have that that headbutt, right? And as a child, and I say a child because they're 18, yes, they're legally an adult.
No, but
we
okay,
all know,
yeah, no.
we all know that hell, at 22, some of these are just like, what the
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So that's why I'm saying, like, there's times I'm just like, I understand that you have as a, you know, they are young adults, and I think that's the biggest battle I have with my older two, that they're at an age where they are growing up. They do have, this is who I want to be. This is what I am.
Yeah.
But it's like, I understand that. But just because you're here doesn't mean you get to impose it on somebody else.
Yeah.
So you need to learn how to talk to people, how to express that. And who I am doesn't mean that I need to impose my beliefs on you.
Right.
It means you need to respect me, but I need to respect you too. And I think that's another balance with the gentle parenting, the this, the that. I don't agree with gentle parenting. And I'm just kind of like, look,
I think if you can find a blend.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say,
think
like,
if you
a
can
nice
find
little
a blend,
of it,
I will-
because you know they are sponges. They do
Yes.
learn from us, but
I'm
at the
just
same
big on
time,
respect. Look, I had one instance, I think it was with my little one, and it's probably one of the funniest moments that I have on a baseball field. My little one was catching. His coach said something. He replied back, and I was sitting in the stands. And right after that inning, I went up to him, and I was like, he's like, I'm like, no, to the other side. And I went.
He's
and,
like, no.
And I looked at him and I said, the next time I hear you speak to an adult that way, I will put my hands through that fence and I will grab you by the neck. And I swear to God, you see that little hole right there? I will bring you out through that little hole closer to me. And he looked at me and I'm like, I don't care what they're telling you to do. If they tell you to stand on your head while catching a ball behind that plate,
You're gonna stand on your head.
Later on, you figure out what's gonna be. But at that moment, you say yes and you do it. And then later on, the coach told me, he's like, I was going to tell him something, but I saw him. After I saw you talk to him, I was like, nah, he's
You
good.
scared the coach too. You scared the coach.
He's like, I don't think there's anything I have left to say. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. We're all ourselves, but you will respect your authorities. You will respect your coaches, because that has to do with respecting your boss. At that moment, your coach
it's
is
just
your
in
boss.
life.
Yeah.
And you don't have to understand at that moment why they're asking you to do that. Now, obviously, as we get older, if it's something that's
You question.
correct, if there's reasonable, if it's, you know, with your safety, absolutely. But if it's something of, this is the way the process works and this is what we're gonna do,
It's like, okay.
you say yes and you figure it out. And then later on, the thing is, I've learned that if the step is 1, 2, 3, and you say, oh no, but I could go 1, 3, 4, and that second step comes back to bite you in the ass, then it's, well, why didn't you do it how I wanted to? So you know what? I do 1, 2, 3, and then later on, when the wheels fall off, it's like, I did it how you told me to.
yeah.
Now, one thing I did learn, and I don't know if it was a pride thing. I don't know if it was mainly because I can't remember, right, when I was a kid. But I learned to apologize to my kids. So if in retrospect, if I disciplined them in a certain way, and then I realized, man, I went too hard.
Overreacted.
I overreacted, or I said something that I shouldn't have said, or whatever, I will then pull them aside and be like, I'm sorry. So that way it was not just to not make amends, but make amends with my kids, but it's also for them to learn, like, yo, I don't have a freaking rule book here. There isn't a guide. I am winging this every single day. To this day, I am winging it.
And what worked with number 1 isn't going to work with number 2.
Exactly. And
I'll
what
tell you
worked
that.
with one doesn't work with the other. And
I have apologized to the babies before when I had those like angry moments or like the screaming, or if something happened and I had to, use the hand. And I'll sit down with them and I'm like, Mommy, sorry. Mommy didn't mean to do that.
Now,
but next time you have to listen.
Now,
So
was there a certain age where you started apologizing? Because I
Yes.
apologize now as they gotten older, and I feel they couldn't understand when they were little.
When they were little,
No, I
when
didn't
as they got
apologize.
older, yes. So once they hit like the double digits, and mainly I will probably say it's more so once, like 10 years ago, like once I got divorced and all that, because at that point they were 7, 8, 12, 13. So they were at an age of comprehension.
I think like about 10
But
years when I was like,
I am also huge, and I tell my kids, an apology without changed behavior is just
It's not.
words.
Yep.
So I will apologize, and I will make my best effort to not repeat that behavior. Because again, if I'm going to spank you because I got pissed off or I was having an overstimulated day or whatever, and I apologize for it, but then it happens again and it happens again and it happens again, at some point, my apology means shit.
doesn't mean anything.
And that's also teaching them that too.
Exactly. Versus you've already, and I have told my kids this as they've gotten older and growing up, where they're like, oh, Mom, I'm sorry, I forgot this. I would straight up tell them, I don't want your apology. This isn't the first time it's happened.
Fix it.
Just behave differently, show up differently. So the same thing that I will demonstrate to them, I let them know I am expecting the same from you in return. Change the behavior. I don't give a shit about your apology.
But I
At
feel
this
like
point, your apology means
at
nothing.
this age, like at least with my older ones, right? Like my youngest is 13. I feel like now is where I can kind of implement
Yes.
that. Well, now because they understand it. Now it's kind of like where I tell them, I accept your apology, but either like, what are we doing to stop this apology from coming around? Because if it's the same thing, like don't keep saying sorry for the same thing. If you're forgetting to do this, like set an alarm, set a timer, set a a reminder or something. We're in the world, you guys have your phones attached to you all the time. There's no reason for you to forget to do certain things. So I think because they're older, their sense of responsibility is different. And like, for example, my oldest is getting ready to go away to school. And I tell him, I'm like, dude, you're not going to survive.
Ay, pobrecito.
No, because it's not that he's not going to survive. He's a very resilient kid, very
gonna
bright.
say, he's so great.
He is so smart. And honestly, like, I think he is the older sibling. He does hold a lot of weight on his shoulders. So I do consider that too, even though I don't give him credit for it, or he doesn't think I give him credit for it, to him. I understand that. I'm sure that sometimes he looks at his brothers and he's like, dude, I do everything. Which he doesn't, but I feel like he probably
feels that
assumes
way.
that it's like...
Yeah.
But there's times where I'm like, okay, I'm trying to prepare you because in a few months,
Yeah.
when something when shit hits the fan, like you can call me, but there's only so much I can do from afar. I'm not going to be able to,
And I know
to
I had-
control things for you as much.
And I know I had my kids in a bubble when they were little. Like where I worked at my previous job, on the campus was the daycare center, and it was the elementary school, which was for the children of the employees of the company. And so being PTA president,
It's kind of awesome like that.
it was because if it was literally, you can walk from the building to the elementary school for honor roll ceremony, Mother's
That's
Day, Father's
amazing.
Day,
Awesome.
Dominoes with Dad, or whatever. It was amazing. Now, the downside to that is the kids, Mom, I forgot my homework. Can you text Miss whoever? Can you text Miss Yvette? And guess what? Because I was PTA president, I knew all of the teachers, and I would text. I'd be like, "Oh, hey, it happened again." And so in that aspect, when they were little, I handled a lot of things where, in hindsight, it would have been like, "Oh, I guess you're getting enough." Because guess what? Back in the day,
Mom used to always save me.
there was no. My mother could not, even though my mom was best friends with the principal, which was not a good thing for me and my brother. But, there was no, oh, don't worry about it. We can text you a picture. There was none of that. It was like,
you forgot.
well, no, I guess.
I
guess
can't leave
you're
work to take it to you, so you're gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, so I guess you're gonna get enough.
There was no email. Facts.
So as my kids got older, then it became you need to figure it out. Contact a friend, do this, do that. Because yes, as they are preparing to go to college, it's like,
gotta
again,
teach them those
something as
responsibilities
simple
to-
as,
yeah.
Mom, can you help me write this email? I'm like, what are you going to do when you're in college? Like, I'm not going to be able to be there at the drop of a hat to help you do this. Mom, can you talk to the teacher? Teacher's not going to talk to me. You're a legal adult.
Yeah.
I don't even get access to your grades unless you give me your portal login.
Yeah.
So it is at that point of teaching them, and I recognize correcting a lot of, I guess, errors that I did in my own parenting in trying to protect them and trying to have them in this bubble of like, for them not to struggle the way that I did. It's kind of like, shit, this is going to bite me in the ass. Hold on. Like, I babied them too much and I got to make them independent because now they're on a time crunch because, college is right around the corner. So it's recognizing where, I don't want to say failed, but maybe I could have done things differently, been a little bit more Thugerella versus, gentle, and I'll take care of it for you. I'll handle it,
Which is funny because I have 3. And they're both very different. All 3 of them are very. My 2 older ones, I think, are more.
The little one needs Jesus. We know that.
He found Jesus. He went to
he went to private school. He found Jesus.
I put him in Catholic school and he found Jesus, and my life has been so much easier since. But I will say that he doesn't like school. School's hard for him. Mm-hmm. But he's gotten so much better since he has gone to the Catholic school because it's a smaller classroom setting. But even then, he still struggles academically. And when I say struggles, he doesn't do poorly. It just doesn't come as easily as
it's like my oldest and my youngest.
So it's one of those. My oldest will be like, "You would have never accepted that from me," and I'm like, and one of his words once, and I wanted to like strangle him. My little one comes home proud as a peacock because he got, I think, like a 79 on
but that's good for him
on reading comprehension. And he was like, look. And I was like so proud. I'm like, oh my God, that's great. And my oldest looks at me. He's like, are we celebrating mediocrity?
Oh.
And
sir.
I looked at him and I was like, dude, he had a 48 last week. Yes. We are celebrating the shit out of a 79.
But that brings up a really good point. And not only is parenting the kids
be a different parent.
Right, but it's not just in how you parent them, but it's what your expectations are. Because like my oldest, she graduated top 5% of her class. She ended up on scholarships for college. That ain't my little Thugerella. And it's not that my youngest is.
She's good in school though.
It's not. Here's my thing with her. She's incredibly smart, but she is even more so lazy.
I was gonna say, is it lazy?
Lazy, because even when it comes to dance, if she truly applied herself, she would be even more amazing.
Oh yeah.
But for her, she's like, this is good enough.
Mm-hmm. I don't need to study. I can get a C.
And here's the thing.
If I'm passing.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll never forget one of my direct reports.
But that was
love her. But one of my direct reports says it. She's like, oh, my mom would tell us all the time, C's get degrees. So why are you going to struggle?
What do you call?
I was like, damn.
What do you call a doctor who graduated with a C?
A doctor. It's still a doctor.
He's still a doctor. He gets the same degree that the guy who graduated with A+.
Exactly. It's still a doctor. It's still a lawyer.
Oh, did you guys ever see it was G.W. Bush when he does the commencement speech?
Oh my God, bless his heart. That's all I got to say.
Listen, I loved watching him because I never knew what was going to coming out of his mouth.
He didn't either.
And he seemed like a guy, like, you know what? He seemed like somebody that I could go and have a beer with.
Yes. And yes.
Like, not feel awkward. Mm-hmm. And he had a commencement speech at a college graduation. And he says, he's like, remember, those of you who are graduating with a C average,
you can become president.
Even you too can become president one day.
And it's the truth.
Genius. He's right.
He's true.
Right, because he got the same degree that.
But yeah, I mean, but to your point, with my youngest, for some reading, the reading comprehension, like whatever that damn test is every single year, I can never remember. It starts with an E, I think. She would always end up in like English class, and then there was like an extra reading class or whatever. And so when I think it was this school year, when she finally wasn't in it, it was like I celebrated it because to your point, it's like from where we came from to where we are, it's great. Now, my expectations for my oldest are a little different because it's like, I know this is where she excels at. She's very academic. And so even when it came to expecting things from them from an academic perspective, I could not parent them in the same way and have the same expectations because two very different children, at the end of the day. And I also recognize, and it may not be a very popular thing, is college is not for everyone.
Absolutely.
College is not for everyone. Like for me, you know what? Everybody needs a hairdresser. I like having my AC functional. So an AC tech, you want to be that
Excuse
cool.
I'm a prime
You know
example.
why?
I'm a high
Listen.
school dropout, didn't go to college, and I had a very successful career.
You know, and now you're what? You're a
Excuse me.
studio owner.
Listen,
So
think of it this way. And I've right now, plumbers, electricians.
I always pimp
AC.
out the AC vents
Let me
because,
tell you,
like,
those
yo,
people are making bank
Yep.
Yes.
because there are so little of them out there because nobody's going to school to these trade schools.
and I blame having, and you know, because you have you have two oldest, juniors, seniors. Schools pimp out college and they push college versus it's look at what their skills are, and again, not everyone is meant to be a doctor, a lawyer, a CEO, a CPA.
Not everybody has. I'm sorry, it's not a popular. Not everybody has the brain capacity.
It's
Yeah.
that's
And there's nothing. And I'm not saying that they're not smart.
right. It's
I'm
just
saying that we all have different things that we excel at.
Yeah.
And some of us, listen, mechanics.
listen.
There's some mechanics that, you know what, don't put them, don't ask them to write, a thesis statement. Don't ask them to write a 5-page essay. But they could do a lot more with a car than I could. I don't
Listen,
even
that's
know
my
when I
dad.
need
My
to
dad
change
is
the
a
oil.
prime example. Do not ask him to read a book, but I'm sure he will literally be able to fix everything in this place and do all the things, fix a car, fix the alarm,
Let's keep
fix
it
the camera.
simple. Our degrees, I got my undergrad in public relations, and then I went to law school. Guess what? Neither one of them required mathematics. I know where my shortfalls are. So it's like, what is the path of least resistance? Public relations, marketing, advertising, and then I like to
Finite
talk
math was my
shit and
best
argue.
friend.
I didn't go to law school. Cool. Like whatever. But it didn't require math. But then you have my oldest, I don't know where the hell that kid came from. She, for some time, majored in physics,
Wow.
astrophysics.
There's like
couldn't
math
even-
all over that.
I could not pronounce half of the classes that were on her curriculum. And then thankfully, she just has this natural talent of being an artist, a visual artist, and she changed her career path. And now she's doing art school. Awesome. But when she was in the physics major, I was just like, baby girl, you better YouTube University. I cannot help you with shit. I can barely help with Common Core when it was a thing.
Once my boys got into 6th grade, I'm like,
I tapped out.
I was like, I'm done with math.
You're like, this is where
Yes,
I peace out.
yes.
Listen, I took college algebra 3 times, guys.
Me too.
Actually, I want to say 4, and the last time I passed it virtually, and my ex-husband helped.
It's okay.
So,
we can admit that now. It's okay.
no, I would have admitted it at that moment. I mean, when it was time to take an in class, they had to go to take it online, like in the actual, it had to be proctored.
You failed every time?
No, I didn't fail because you couldn't, because those
Yeah.
were it was the midterm and the final, and I was just like, there was times where I remember, bless his heart, he would try to help me study, and I'm like, all right. He's like, all right. We would do the steps, and then he would look. He's like, how did you get this wrong? Where did you go wrong? I don't understand. And he would look, and he's like,
Pero Yvette, how?
and he's like, but how? I'm like, I don't know. I just the numbers.
Even with a calculator, I get mathematics wrong.
Oh my God,
middle
yes.
son
It's
is-
like, why?
My middle son is like a numbers kid. Like he does numbers in his head.
Oh,
And
I'm
just
so
like-
jealous of those
I
people.
can't.
I'm
can't.
so jealous of that's
Then
my
I'm
mom's like that.
My,
She's like,
my oldest is very good at math. My little one, there
Bless
he
his
is. That's
heart.
me.
Bless his heart.
I'm like, there you are.
But again, I mean,
I showed up.
and you're gonna, and especially now with your oldest hitting kindergarten, like you're gonna start seeing that even it's not just parenting them differently because of the different personalities. It's also parenting them from the expectations.
Yeah.
Because it got to a point where it's like with my youngest, it's like, listen, if you got a C, because this was you put all the effort in, and this was the best you can get, great. But if you got a C because it's comiendo mierda and you didn't turn in half of the assignments, no, I'm not going to be okay with that. But if you turned in the assignments and the best that came out of
C
it
for
was
continue.
a C,
We're gonna
Yeah.
continue to try.
we're going to, oh,
that's cute.
I got that from my pediatrician.
I love
I'm like,
that.
that's
And I
cute.
love her.
That's cute.
You know, now
See,
she's
means
going to hear
continue.
that. She's going to
I
hear
hope
that
so,
and
'cause
write
she's
it out.
also, I'm like, I hope so because she's also my Botox lady.
Oh, yes, we love you too. Anyway, but it's parenting is not just when it comes to the discipline, it's also the expectations of academics, work, and what they end up doing. It's like I can't expect a physics major out of my youngest. And she will straight up be like, oh, hell no, that's too much math.
But you know what I've learned?
Yeah.
That all, at least with me, all my three, they know what they're good at.
Yes.
Like when you try, and they'll look at you like, no, ma, I suck. Like they're very honest. Like they know their strength, they know their weaknesses, and obviously they're older, so I think that's also helped. But they will tell you who's good at what, who's not good at what, who they think is the favorite, who they do, like they are very, for whatever the reason, they all think the little one is the favorite, and I'm always like, all of you are my favorite.
Just I love one more than the other some days.
Yes, I was about to say, it's not love, it's like, I may not like you today, I like your sister more. It just depends, because again, we're all human. They piss me off.
So what I've learned is that each of them brings, like all of us, everybody brings something different to the table. So when I'm looking for certain things, this is gonna be my go-to. And when I need certain, like I know who to go to get certain things accomplished. And so it seems like I give one a pass here or one a pass there, and it's like, no, I know their strength and weak. And as a mom, that's like the mom in me, I'm gonna give you a task that I know you can complete and be successful at. Because if I keep telling you to do something and you keep failing at it, you're gonna hate yourself, right?
Yes.
So I am very big on, I know this is what you can do. This is your task. This is what you're gonna do. I know you can do it. I'm at the point where they're old enough to where I feel like they kind of already jump in. It's like, okay, they know their expectations. And yes, mom is not a gentle parent and she loses her shit. We call it the crazy bitch.
Oh, my kids call it dragon mom. My kids call it dragon mom.
The crazy bitch comes out.
Now, you know what's funny is my kids, we have a 2-story house. So I'm always yelling because either I'm texting you like, hey, do you want to come downstairs? Or I'm going to scream it from the bottom floor to the top floor. Where my kids will tell you they know I'm pissed is when I'm quiet. When I respond to them in a very quiet tone, or if I look at them and like something happened and I look at them, I'll be like, I am livid right now. Like to them, they're like, okay, mom is really
She real mad.
Like
she mad.
This
mad.
isn't just like this isn't just dragon mom yelling mad. Like no, mom is
she's saying it with a
pissed.
soft tone, and she's not,
If my volume goes down and I just look at them and be like, I am livid right now. I don't even want to look at you. They'll be like, exit stage left. Period. Now, knowing my kids, you know that audio from, I can't remember that Ben Affleck movie where he goes up to the other character and says, I can't tell you what we're doing, but we're going to hurt some people, whatever. And the guy responds with, whose car are we going to take?
I think it's Matt Damon.
It's not Matt Damon. It's the other.
It's the guy from.
He's the arrow guy. The green arrow guy. I can't remember his name.
Green.
No, it's Ben Affleck and someone else.
No, it's not Ben. It's
Mark,
Ben
get on the
Affleck's
Google
saying
machine.
it to someone else.
someone else, but the guy.
Ben Affleck is saying it to the other guy
It's the
who
guy who
plays
plays
the Green
Hawkeye.
Arrow. Hawkeye,
It's
not
the guy
Green
who
Arrow,
plays
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
But anyway, my youngest is Hawkeye, where I can go up to her and be like, yo, I can't tell you what we're doing, but I need you to ride with me. And she'll just be like, all right, so, but do I need a shovel? Do I need a bag? What do we need?
What kind of shoes am I wearing?
Right. What do I need to take like saran wrap so DNA doesn't land
Your
anywhere?
oldest is trying to figure out how
Whereas
we
my
can...
oldest is like, no, let's figure out a peaceful route. Like, is this something we can talk out? So like, I know, those are how different the personalities are. So when it came to
when you need
parenting,
certain things done, and that's the thing. Like, I don't have a favorite. I just have if I need certain things done, I know who to go to get certain things done, and when they need to get done. But I will say that the crazy bitch does.
My kids call it dragon mom.
It is what it is. It is what it is. And I tell them, like, you don't want me to be. Don't take me there.
And I think also in your case, because they're boys, you're
Yeah.
raising men.
They
You are
testing
essentially raising men to go into this world. Now, for a long time, you had your co-parent in the house, and thankfully, he's an active co-parent. But no matter what, you are raising 3 young men to be adult men in a world.
There are times when they give me pushback, and I've asked, and I'm like, would you speak to me the same way you speak to your father? And one time my oldest was honest, and he's like, no. And I think it made me more pissed. And I was like,
wrong answer.
and I'm like, no. I mean, I was okay with it. And I'm like, and I think that kind of like, and I was like, all right, so then that to me was like, I'm not going to ease up on you then, because I'm not crazy. I'm not, because I would be like, man, is it me? Like, is it, I feel like he wouldn't if his dad was here. Is it? And then one day he was very honest and he's like, no, I wouldn't. I'm like, got you, kid.
I clocked you.
Well, then it's like, I'm not easing up on you then, because it's not me. And then I'm like, okay, so you are I'm not gonna say taking advantage, but you are like you do see mom as weak. And like I said, I am the alpha in my house, and I refuse to step down. And
Me too.
you will do what I'm asking you to do. A la
Te
buena
guste,
o
a la buena, a la mala, but you're
A la
gonna do
buena
it.
o la mala, but you will. But then look, like last night, he's like, "Mom, can I go out? Whatever." And he had practice this morning. I'm like, "You have practice tomorrow. You have to be there at 9. You need to be home by 12." And he's like, "What about 12:30?" And I'm like, "What about 11?"
Good counter. It's like, no, I'll take the 12. I'll take the 12.
Yeah. No. Go back to 12.
And
Back
he's
to
like,
12.
"No, 12." And then even when he was on his way home, he's like, and this is why I say like I don't gentle parent, but I'm realistic. He sends me a text like he was a little bit further away, and he texts me I think about like 11:30, 11:45, and he's like, "Mom, I'm on my way home."
Yep, they're gonna be late.
And
Yep.
I said, "You know what? Drive carefully. I don't want you rushing to be home by 12."
And I appreciate that with this at
And
this
that's
point. It's
why
just
I'm
my
like,
they're
it's one of those-
communicating,
you're
they let you
communicating,
know.
You're being, and then I'm like, well, do I want you? And I kind of want him to know that balance. Like, you were big enough to recognize that you're gonna be late. I'm not gonna no. I'm not gonna punish you for being home at 12:20 because I don't want you rushing and possibly getting into a car accident.
Yeah.
With the crazies out late at night. Take your time, get home, we're good.
Yeah.
His response to me was, "I love you."
Aw. Aw.
And that's why I say, like, they know that I'm not like a pushover, but I'm like, no, I have rules and you're gonna follow them and
respect them.
respect them.
Now I have a question. If he would have not texted you and he would have gone home
Late.
like if he would have not done that, "Hey mom, I'm on my way. I'm gonna be a few minutes late." Would that have changed it?
For me.
It
I'm
would
like,
have, but can I tell you? Okay, so with him, I don't think that my little one, he might. With him, I don't think it's ever gonna be I don't think I really don't think he has
Like
it
if
in
he would
him.
have gone to the house at like 12:10, like you would have been
With
late.
no text, because
With
I
no
told him
text.
because he was over in like the Clearwater Wynwood area, which is far. I lived on Homestead, and I had told him, "Call me when you're like text me when you're leaving."
yeah.
Because you're far. You're 40 minutes away. I don't anticipate him, even if whatever time it would have been, I think he would have reached out and been like, "I'm on my way home."
I mean, to answer your, like, if I would not have gotten any message at
I
all,
mean, like 360 is a
pre-warning,
thing, so
Yeah.
you know, I would look to be like, okay, where's your location? Yeah, I can see you're on your way home, but it'd be more of like, out of respect, let me know. Now, sometimes I get but you have my location. You knew I was on my way home, or you know where I'm at, and it's
but I
like
don't
it
know when
doesn't
you're
matter.
leaving.
But I don't care.
I'm asking you to tell me. And this is one thing that I've had to your little one doesn't drive. Yes, she does. When she wants to.
Cuando le da la gana.
My oldest drives. And so because he's like, "Oh, because you don't trust me." I said, no. It's not about me not trusting you. There are a lot of outside factors. And unfortunately, we have had friends who, their nephew passed away. And I've told them, I said, "Listen, he passed away. He was not drunk. It was at 7:00 at night. There was, honestly, he overcorrected and he flipped his truck. He flipped his, and he passed. It's not about you drinking. It's not always about you doing something wrong. Sometimes things just
Life
happens.
Yep.
And sometimes somebody else crashes into you. And I can't control the world. And that's what I can't control the world. But I want you to be aware of the outside factors of things that can happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes you could be doing everything right.
And shit happens.
It literally happened to a dance friend of mine. She was going out to a dance show, got an Uber, wasn't drinking, but a drunk driver hit the Uber, and she passed, not even the driver.
But
you do it
But that's
right.
what I'm saying.
And
like,
it happens.
and I can't control that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I can't control that. But then, like, I don't know if have you guys ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
yeah, some episodes, yeah.
Nothing good happens after 1:00.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I always tell them, like, nothing good happens after 1:00. Be home. I go, you want to be in somebody's house. There's no need for you to be out and about on the street. And like, trust me, I've been there.
Yeah.
I can tell you that there's nothing en la calle después. And he's like, but it's different.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it's
it's
not different.
not.
The
It's
more
not
things
different.
change,
That's
the more
why-
things stay the same. I
That's
can tell
why
you that
when my
nothing's
kids
changed.
I didn't care. It was a revolving farm door in my house. I didn't care that I had a ton of kids in my house till
You knew everyone was safe.
but they're safe. And they all lived más o menos en el vecindario. So it's like you didn't really have a far drive home.
Yeah.
All the moms, we had each other's numbers. We could text, da, da, da. So it was like,
It's like you'd rather your kid be safe than anything. My mom was the same. She was
I'd rather
that.
have 20 kids in my house. And I've always had, like, even when we go on baseball tournaments, there's times where I have in my car.
hell, you took my kid to Nashville.
No, but I'm saying, like, even in baseball tournaments, I'll be like, I'm like, look, I'll take them with you if you guys, I'll bring them back. I've had a hotel room with 5 boys in one room and then me in the room next to it with another mom. Because to me, I'd rather them be together and be with me than be doing Lord knows what.
But before we wrap up, can we just point out she did take my kid to Nashville last summer for a tournament, and ever so proudly, she got my kid into a bar. I think it was the Morgan Wallen bar.
No, it was Chiefs.
Okay. All I know, she got him into a bar. I got the whole baseball team into a bar. I think
the Morgan Wallen one. The Morgan Wallen one.
So, and then I get a picture from my kid with the good
the little X's.
At
She's like
16, 17 years old with her first little club stamps, courtesy of Yvette.
They were
in Nashville.
Okay, so you could go in, but if you were under 21, they would put X's on your hands.
She had X's.
She had X's, and then I did take.
You did take the whole
varsity team into this bar. During the day, it wasn't at night.
It was daytime.
Because they were like, "Oh, we want to go." I'm like, "Oh, they let you guys in during the day," and they all looked at me, and I'm like, "Yeah, we'll go. I'll take you guys." And I took them up into like I think it's like 3 or 4 levels of the bar, and they were like geeked out by it.
So I got a
This
random
is a bar. Doesn't it look so exciting?
I got a random picture of my kid at a bar, but I'm thinking to myself, but you know what? It's again, it may be an unpopular opinion, but I'd rather. Discover that now, because in your 20s, it's not going to be this like, oh my God, this very elusive thing. And it's kind of like, yeah, I've already been to bars. It's not that big of a fucking deal.
Listen, I'm sorry. Can I mention the night?
Which night? Oh, yeah. That night when our children
went to a party and I get a call of basically to pick her up. And because they have been drinking, right? Well, and let me start off. My son drives, but before they left to the party, I asked him. I said, "Are you gonna drink tonight?" And he's like, "No, we're gonna Uber there."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay." So we were at a family thing, and they left in an Uber to the party. During the party, I got a FaceTime call.
Got a FaceTime call, and the thing I will give my youngest credit, and even my oldest, because even to this day, in her mid-20s, she will text me and be like, "I'm in an Uber to Wynwood. This is where I'm going. I'm in the Uber back." Like, they keep me up to date.
I'm 36 years old. I still tell my mom
that. So
now me cuando te va.
Yeah, so
okay.
and I take the perspective of, again, unpopular opinion. She was 17 at the time when this happened, but I was 17 too. And I did a lot more than just drink.
I went to mansion at 15.
I would rather you tell me and me kind of get the heads up. So the next phone call, nonetheless, that I get is, "Mom, are you coming home?" And I'm at my cousin's house, and I'm like, "Why? What's wrong?" And he's like, "I don't feel good."
Yeah.
And I'm home, and I'm just like, "All right." He's like, "I'm outside." I'm like, "What are you doing outside?"
Because then my kid is sick. They're not sick. They're drunk. Let's just call it what it is. Our kids are piss ass drunk.
I don't feel good, and I'm like, come on, we all know. We all know what I don't feel good means.
And so I go pick her up. I don't even get
my favorite part of the story.
I don't even get 2 houses past hers, and she's like, "Stop the car!" We all know what happens when you stop the car. She did what she had to do. She closed the door, and she was just like, "Yell at me tomorrow." That was all. She was just like, "Yell at me tomorrow," and in this aspect, from a parenting perspective, and we can kind of wrap up with the story of our children, is that next day I was like, "Ya pasó." What am I going to yell at her about it?
But I'm saying, like, she knew what she did was wrong. Like,
yes.
yell at me tomorrow.
She already knew.
She already knew.
It's one of those, and that's why I say, like, we're not gentle parents.
No,
but
I had to take the road of like, "Ya pasó." What am I going to yell at you about? That's it. It happened.
Listen, the hangover have is more punishment than I can give
But now, but what did I tell her? It's like, now you know what your limit is. Be responsible and be very grateful that he is the boy that he is, raised by the person that he's raised by, because in any other situation, there'd be some body parts that might be sore and you wouldn't know why. So be very thankful that he is who he is and how he was raised. Because if that would have happened at some college party, un hueco was going to be hurting and you wouldn't know why. Let's be honest. That's the damn
100%.
truth.
And that's
That's
the
the damn
unfortunate
truth.
world we live in.
And so guess what? Now she'll be like, oh no, I'm just having like a twisted tea or whatever. But I know twisted tea.
what's a
That's
twisted tea? Is that a Long Island?
no, it's literally the brand Twisted
It's
Tea.
called Twisted Tea.
You
What's
know,
a okay.
we'll have to bring one for you.
I'll tell you this story.
So, but yeah, so it is finding a balance. Hopefully, by the time your kids are older, you can just put like an implant in them. Like,
Probably.
be like, oh yeah, I can see you're misbehaving. Zap, zap.
Listen, in a perfect world,
I can see
we
you
don't
have
like
alcohol
internal
in your
shock
bloodstream.
collars. Internal shock collars, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
no.
Oh my god, do you
Oh
mind?
my god, can you imagine?
Shock collars.
Well,
for
I think
kids.
you know what the problem is as well.
collars
Like,
for
with our
kids?
parents, it was a taboo to talk about certain things.
Yes.
And so I've tried to make it like, look, it's okay. Like, yes, I know you have a fake. I paid for your fake. I get it. But I'd rather know about it
Yes.
than not know about it.
Then
and
get
know-
that call if your kid got arrested. It's like, what do you mean they have a fake ID? Espérate un momento.
Where
hold
are
on.
they? You know what I mean? Because I remember be like, no, we're staying over so-and-so's house. I know I was at, Lord knows where.
The three-way calling.
So I get it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I can appreciate, like, look, they know their expectations. They know I have a standard.
Yeah.
And I have a standard for them to be good humans and responsible humans. But at the end of the day, I know they're teenagers. I know they're going to mess up because, yes, I'm older than them, but I remember what
Of
it
course,
was like.
yeah. I remember being that
I can't
age.
even imagine
So
half the
I
things
do
we-
give them that leeway to where, like, okay.
I give them grace.
And you know what? They're not doing half the shit that I did.
Listen, and my
So,
kids,
really?
it's funny because they will see other kids talking to parents in a certain way or whatever, and they'll look at me and be like, man, you would fuck me up
And
if
as
I
long
talk
as-
to you
that's
like that. I'm
look,
like,
as
I'm
long
glad
as
you
you're
recognize
respectful
that.
Yeah.
to me, to other adults, and that's why I say, like, I think when I see kids talking to certain adults a certain way, I'm like, you talk to your mama like that. Because if you spoke to your mother a certain way, there is no way in hell you would react to another adult like that.
Yep.
And because I know that my kids, in the back of their head, they're like, if my mom were to hear me talk to somebody, she would kill me.
Yep.
And I'm okay with that.
Yep.
To me, I'm like, you know what? Then
I did a good
my
job.
job. I did my job because my job is to make sure you're a better human. You don't have to be a better human for me. You need to be a better human for the world.
Amen. So, on that note, I know parenting isn't easy, but for the next episode, we are going to be talking about parenting, but when your child has special needs, which that is a whole different animal, especially your
Absolutely.
experience being a special needs teacher.
Absolutely.
So I think we can keep going with this one.
Yeah,
but,
we really can.
but I do love that for the next episode, we do have a guest coming on. So look forward to that. But until then, thanks for hanging with Las Primas.
Bye.
I love that. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us. If you've been through something similar, hit our DMs. We love hearing your stories.
If there's a topic you want us to dive into, don't be shy. We promise to keep it 100% real and unfiltered.
Follow, subscribe, and share with your favorite primas. Pero not really.